The book of Joshua 23, verse 10. One man of you shall chase 1,000. For the Lord Yahweh Bashmal Shah, your power, he it is that fought for you, as he had promised. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shah, Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak Radash. The one to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that tells this truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work, and peace and salutations to the hopefully elect that are scattered across the four corners of the earth, to USA, Shalom. The book of Judah, the 9th chapter, in verse 11. For thy power standeth not in multitude, nor thy might in strong men. For thou art a God of the afflicted, and helper of the oppressed, and upholder of the weak, a protector of the forlorn, a savior of them that are without hope. The Lord's strength is shown in weakness, and we right now have no power. We're a small sanctuary, and we have no fighting capabilities in the carnal, which leaves way or paves way for the Lord to show his power through, for his name to be glorified. Before this thing is all said and done, Yahweh Bashmal Shah will be known throughout the earth. His power will be magnified and shown through the men that he is setting up to display that power through. And he's already doing it with this word going out that is simultaneously bringing down his kingdom. Just words, right? So this is spiritual power, but it's only going to manifest in his physical when in time of need, as the Lord takes away the resources that stay in the staff, the comfortability of this society, in which he's going to also allow these devils to come in like a flood, in which these elites, they know and understand the power that they're dealing with, right? So when they come, it's not going to be some light shit. You're talking about the elect of Israel who have the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai, who have been given the power to speak this man out of existence, right? Psalm 3 and verse 6, I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about, right? Arise, O Lord Yahweh Bashmal Shai, and save me, O my power, for thou hast smitten all mine enemies upon the cheekbone, thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto the Lord, thy blessing is upon thy people, right? So yeah, these devils, when they do come in, like I said before, they expect the Lord to fight for us, all right? They're going to try that theory out. So when you go to Judah, the 5th chapter, there's a report given from a heathen to another heathen about the Israelites, all right? So he says, verse 17, and whilst they sinned not before that power, they prospered, because the power of Yahweh Bashmal Shah that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and the cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their power, and this is what they understand now, because they know and understand the truth that they tried to hide for so long. They know that we have the name of Yahweh Bashmal Shai in his testimony, which is a sign that the Lord has returned, right? So it says, but now are they returned to their power, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, right? Because we have been arisen to come back to life according to the gospel, and have possessed Jerusalem, where the sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. So it says, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against his people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, that my Lord now pass by, let their Lord defend them. See? Let their Lord defend them, and that power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world, right? So they know that if the Lord return unto us, then he will fight for us. But Esau, like I said before, is going to test that theory out as this man is puffed up with this military that he was given, this great sword that he was given. You know, he's going to try that sword out, and that's why he has created, you know, autonomous robots, killer robots, and dogs, and all kinds of different weapons, microwave weapons, and such. Everything that this man has, at the end of the day, is in an attempt to fight against what he expects to be the men of the Lord, all right, in that great day. So when this enemy does come in like a flood, Isaiah 59:19, that's what you should know. The Spirit of the Lord is going to lift up a standard against him, right? So as we got before in Joshua 23:10, one man of you shall chase 1,000. One man can chase 1,000 troops, soldiers. For the Lord Yahweh your power, he it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you. So take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that you love the Lord your power. So this is coming back, man. This is coming back in a major way. The Lord's going to use certain men to glorify his name in the earth, man. Okay? Due to spiritual power being manifested, to where these men are going to be a protection from the onslaught of Esau. All right? Due to angels being dispatched and, you know, working on the men of the Lord. Isaiah 32:2 NLT. It says, each one of what? The elect men will be like a shelter from the wind and a refuge from the storm. And this is going to Jacob's trouble. All right. So one man was going to be like a shelter from the wind and a refuge from the storm. So when shit kicks off, when things get bad, you're going to have men that are able to manifest food and water to provide comfort, support, protection, all the above. And that's going to give more credence and more glory unto the Lord's name, because they're not going to do it in their own name, but rather they're going to give that glory unto Yahweh Bashmal Shah. So it says, like streams of water in the desert, in the shadow of a great rock in a parched land. And that's what's going to make a man more precious than fine gold in that day. Because the Spirit of the Lord is going to be endowed in certain men, to where it says that in the book of Job, real quick, okay, and 22, it says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. Now it's going to take a certain spirit to be upon you at this time in which destruction is going to be happening. Mass people are going to be dying, people starving of the famine. But you're going to be laughing. Why? Because you're going to be comforted. The Spirit of the Lord is going to be upon certain men to be in this state of mind. So it says, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee, man. So this is spiritual power being shown right here, in which a man will be known in that day to be a man of Yahweh Bashmal Shah, and it's going to give power and glory unto the Most High, right? Let's go to Isaiah 49:3. So it says, and said unto me, thou art my power, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. See? And so when the NLT says, he said to me, you are my servant Israel, and you will bring me glory, right? So yeah, the Lord's going to bring himself glory by working through his men, right? And that's why, you know, 7 women going to take hold of one man in that day, as you read in Isaiah 4:1. And the men are going to be like pillars, man, okay? So let's go to Joshua 23 again, verse 10. One man, and you should chase 1,000. For the Lord your power, he it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you. Now this happened one time, all right, dealing with Samson. Matter of fact, let's get that account real quick. I think it's Joshua Judges. I think the 15th chapter. And I will start verse 13, right? So yeah, it says, and they spake unto him, saying, No, but we will bind thee fast and deliver thee into their hand. But surely we will not kill thee. And they bound him with 2 new cords and brought him up from the rock. So yeah, Samson was about to be delivered up into the Philistines. It says, and when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him. And the Spirit of the Lord, here's the point, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him. And the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands. So, yeah, so the rope in his man's hands began to melt off, you know? But he didn't get burnt from the shit. The Spirit was on him, but he didn't get burnt from the ropes melting off his arms, right? So it says, and he found a new jawbone of an ass and put forth his hand and took it and slew 1,000 men therewith. So how the hell could one man do that, killing 1,000 soldiers with a jawbone of an ass, unless the Spirit of the Lord was upon him? You know? That's some supernatural stuff right there, some stuff that cannot be explained. You talking about warriors who he's fighting against with spears and weapons and stuff like that, but he wasn't touched. You know, that had been a sight to see. So in Samson 16 said, with the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps, with the jawbone of an ass have I slain 1,000 men. So just imagine in these times when these troops come in, as you read in Isaiah 59 and 19, man, you know, what the Lord's going to do, because Esau got technology that has not been seen before. The Lord has given this man spiritual power on the left-hand side to create these carnal weapons that have spiritual powers. He can shoot lasers. Again, he has microwavable weapons, right? And a lot of other stuff that is, you know, is like, wow. You know? So how much more his men to combat that in these times? Isaiah 59:19, as we always get, so shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah from the west, and that's what the elect are doing, and his glory from the rising of the sun. So when the enemy should come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him, right? So when they come in like a flood, that Spirit is going to come mightily upon certain men, and you're going to see people shooting lasers at their eyes, man. I think that's in the book of Revelation. Fire at their mouth, I believe. Let me see. Yep, Revelation 11:4. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the power of the earth, going to the 2 tribes, the northern and southern kingdom. And if any man will hurt them, it says fire proceeded out of their mouth. Now that's happening right now in the spirit. This word that we're speaking is fire, and it's devouring the enemy. So this is going to manifest in the physical. So it says, and if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed, man. So yeah, this is spiritual powers right here, man. These have power to shut the heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them into blood, to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. So when you look at Esau has the power to control and manipulate the weather. So how much more his men? You know, how much more his men? And this was going to give fame and glory to the Lord's men. And in return, it's going to give it back into Yahweh by Shema Shah, man. So you got to imagine, troops coming in, the Spirit rests upon you so damn mighty. Laser beams coming out of your eyes and fire coming out of your mouth. You shooting thunderbolts, lightning striking niggas and all this shit, niggas exploding. All this stuff is going to be happening, man. Like crazy power is going to be shown through Yahweh by Shema Shah. All this stuff that we see on the movies and stuff, you know, doing spiritual powers, that's going to be a reality at some point, man. So this the faith that we got, right? We know that Yahweh by Shema Shah is capable of doing any and everything. So through his men, he will be glorified. So I just want to go through that real quick. So Lord willing, you will edify. Till next time I say, Shalom.